Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. I am Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends, wives, and especially your boyfriends and your husbands. A very warm welcome to Sunday's edition of the DCU Daily. It has been the summer blockbuster season from hell. We had a big break from the summer blockbuster because of COVID and because they went to May releases and January releases. They decided it was time to move away from the blockbuster. This year was the return of the summer blockbuster. It was to herald billion-dollar movies and a great time at the movie theatre, but it hasn't worked out that way. With these blockbuster movies like Superman and Fantastic Four more recently, this week we've seen a Friday to Friday drop-off of over 80%. That's a disaster for Disney and Marvel Studios. But it's not just the faltering box office, it's the movies themselves that have been middle of the road. I keep on hearing from shills and pundits that both Superman and Fantastic Four were good movies. Not great, but good. But we need to analyse the meaning of the word good. What does that mean? Do we mean Field of Dreams good? Do we mean Dead Ringers good? Do we mean Apocalypse Now good? Do we mean E.T. good? No, because those movies were great. And if you're calling a movie solid or good, you know it's a generic movie that you're not going to go back to see. Now the reason, what does this tell us? That Fantastic Four had an 80+% Friday to Friday drop-off. It means this wasn't a film that people wanted to go back to see again. You see, pundits misunderstand the habits, the viewing habits of the general audience because they still think it's like 20 years ago, where people used to do it as a routine. A bit like going temping bowling. You go with your kids at the weekend, it's fun, it's an activity. But people don't go to movie theatres as a habit at the weekend anymore. It's event viewing. People will only go to the movie theatre if it's a movie they want to see. So they wanted to see a few movies that were out this year that have done okay. Minecraft nearly done $1 billion because it's a popular computer game. It's not the greatest of movies, but kids went there and had a good time. And what happened when they went there? Having a laugh, throwing popcorn. You called the fucking police, you idiots, right? We're supposed to be encouraging Gen Z to be going to movie theatres, but yeah, let's call the police for a little bit of harmless fun. Anyway, so the Coke Brigade are out. The shills, the pundits, and the industry have decided to blame you and me, the audience. They're blaming us for us going into the supermarket and not wanting to purchase mouldy cheese. But why don't you want to purchase the mouldy cheese? It's all right if you trim away the mould. That's what they're telling us. So let's have a listen, let's have a read to what John Rocha, movie entertainment pundit John Rocha has said. Now don't forget, John Rocha has the same DNA as Hollywood. I'm sure he's got roots in Hollywood. I'm sure maybe he used to have, maybe work low-key in Hollywood as well, like a lot of those original Collider boys like Campia, etc., etc. But just because you lie and blame the audience, it doesn't change the fact that this industry is now on its knees. Blaming everyone but yourselves doesn't change or improve the situation. But this is a blame culture. This is a culture that cannot look in the mirror and say, maybe we've done something wrong. Maybe we should change the way we do things. Maybe paying actors all this money when the profit margins have shrunk. Maybe we should spend less on marketing, right? So we can make a profit. Superman is going to finish around maybe $600 million after its theatrical run. Now that's a pretty healthy amount, no matter what people say. The problem is it's not profitable because they spend too much money on the marketing and the movie. Now, in terms of the amount they spent on the production budget, you're going to spend a lot of money on Superman. I suppose you could cut corners, but when you look at how cheaply Denis Villeneuve has made his Dune movies that have plenty of CGI and VFX in them, it shows you it can be done. And even the marketing budgets for those movies are low. So those movies have actually had really good profitability, but they really spent a lot of money on the marketing of Superman, because Superman could have made a profit if they spent less money in how they marketed it and made it. And it makes no sense to me anyway. Let's have a look what John Rocha had to say. Some people won't want to hear this. No, mate, we don't want to hear that it's our fault that New Hollywood can't make movies. We don't want to hear that it's our fault that they can't entertain us. And we're saying we don't want to cut away the mould from the cheese. We don't want any fucking mould on our cheese. So this is what he had to say. But it might be time to stop putting all the blame on studios or creatives for underperforming movies. I mean, why would we blame them? They only fucking make the movies, they only cast the movies, they only write the movies, they only perform in the fucking movies. Why would it have anything to do with them? Why would the mouldy cheese have anything to do with the supermarket and the people who produce it? They only make the shitty cheese, right? They only leave it past the sell-by date on the shelves. Why would it have anything to do with them, John? Anyway, for underperforming movies, it might be time to start looking at the intelligence level of the moviegoer. So basically, the reason your slop or your friends slop and, you know, the people you share your DNA with, right, is bad because we're thick. By the way, John, this generation of moviegoers are the most sophisticated audiences that we've had in 30 to 40 or even 50 years. Now, that's the real issue here. We expect better because we remember better. My nieces, my nephews, their friends are listening to old music. They're watching old movies and TV shows. When my niece and her friends were staying here, we were watching the early seasons of the Doctor Who revival, right? Not Netflix, but this Doctor Who revival, the early days. You know, seasons 1 with Eccleston, Tennant, Matt Smith, Capaldi, when it was actually fucking good and they actually wanted to entertain the audience. Anyway, the intelligence level of the moviegoers. If a phenomenally stupid film like Jurassic World Rebirth can crush films like Superman and Fantastic Four at the box office, then something might be wrong with all of us and not the studios or the creators. So wait a minute. Just because people enjoy watching dinosaurs eat people, then it's the audience's fault for going to see a movie that you deem to be stupid. By the way, friend, we all enjoyed Jaws, a fucking movie with a plastic shark chasing after people, right? Did that make us stupid, right? And then your friends at New Hollywood, not New Hollywood, Old Hollywood should I say, made a Jaws 2, and a Jaws 3, and a Jaws 4, The Fucking Revenge. And then there was a movie called Fucking Alligator about a baby alligator gets flushed down the fucking toilet, grows big, and attacks a whole fucking city, right? So there's always been dumb movies. Sometimes it's nice to, chillax and watch a silly dumb movie. But that's not the point here. Are you really trying to tell me, John, that Superman and Fantastic Four are fucking intelligent movies? Is that what you're attempting to tell me? And that Jurassic World Rebirth is a dumb, thick movie, but Superman, made by James Gunn, who injected bright colours and dumb gags and made Jor-El and Lara fucking evil, and had Superman going like this, is a smart movie. Is a thinking man's movie. Or Fantastic Four, where the marketing had the star stroking a married woman's hand. Oh yeah, how fucking professional was that? So you're telling me we're stupid because more of us went to see Jurassic World Rebirth, right? More than Superman and Fantastic Four. Why is Superman and Fantastic Four a more intelligent person's fucking movie than Jurassic World Rebirth? Basically, let's be clear. These are not intelligent movies. These are not for intelligent people. These are fucking blockbusters, right? They're not meant to be smart or intellectual. And none of these films are for an intellectual, sophisticated audience. And that's okay. But to fucking claim, just because your nose has been put out of joint, been put out of shape, because people went to see one dumb movie instead of another two dumb movies, and you're calling us fucking stupid. Why? Why is Superman a more intellectual movie than Jurassic World Rebirth? John, you're talking shit. You're just upset that your friends' little franchises are not going to work out anymore. And this could have been fixed easily. Now, I agree, Fantastic Four, First Steps, is a pretty cool movie. It is a pretty cool movie. But did they cast the right guy as Mr. Fantastic? No, they didn't. Now, Hollywood have been doing this for years. Lots of people have been complaining about Pedro Pascal being everywhere. There was a time when Tom Cruise was everywhere, where Brad Pitt was everywhere. It happens. They take one person and they want to make a superstar. They wanted to bring back the movie star, and they thought they could use Pedro Pascal and use him for some representation at the same time. It wouldn't surprise me if Pedro has the same Hollywood DNA as the rest of them. I mean, Pedro Pascal may not even be his fucking name. This is how fucking nefarious these people are. But it doesn't matter about any of that. Because the truth is that the reason that Fantastic Four First Steps is flopping is because people have lost faith in the MCU. What they should have done after Endgame, take a 3-year space, right? Say, that's the end of the Avengers saga. No more Avengers. No more Captain Marvel. No more, none of them, right? And develop the new saga, the X-Men Fantastic Four saga. So year one, you focus on one X-Men character, and then another one, and then another one, and then another and then a Fantastic Four character. And slowly, like you did with the Avengers, you put them all together to fight some entity, right? That's what you did so well with the MCU first 3 phases. You could have done this, but oh no. You made bland movies and bland streaming shows to push identity politics, and you gaslit your fucking audience. This is what John's doing here. He's trying to protect his friends, but it doesn't matter, John. Who you blame for this? This is down to New Hollywood. This is their fault. As Gary from Nerdrotic said, the people who used to make great things are either dead, retired, or have been driven out of the industry. And the people making stuff today, the people working at the top of the industry, have no idea how to entertain people, or they don't believe it's their prerogative to entertain us, right? They don't want to do what they're there for. They're standing behind podiums, wasting their energy, boring on about Trump. Disclaimer, I don't like Trump, but I don't want to hear fucking entertainers talk about him every 5 fucking minutes, especially in their marketing. So, Fantastic Four First Steps is an average mid-movie, not a bad one, but not a fantastic one either. And Superman has some okay elements about it, but it's not a consistently good movie. It's not a consistently good Superman movie. These two movies represent everything wrong with New Hollywood today. And to blame the audience and basically call them stupid tells you everything you want to know. Because these pundits are connected to the industry and they're trying to prop them up, trying to shame the audience and embarrass the audience into going to buy that mouldy cheese. And it's simply not going to work, John Rocha. It's done. You're done. Your friends and the DNA that you share in this industry is done. We went from Kirk Douglas to Michael Douglas to Donald Sutherland to Kiefer Sutherland, as I said many times. Now the baton is being passed to inferior talent, using the word talent loosely. But don't worry, there's people on the internet bigging up the actors of today, directors of today, like they're as good as your Coppolas, as your Oliver Stones, as your Spielbergs. How can we save Hollywood? There's only one way. If people like George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, and people like that, maybe people like Dennis Villeneuve and Zack Snyder, form an entertainment company together, a studio together, because those guys care about entertainment. And the people delivering you entertainment today couldn't give a shit. And they keep on making stuff and green lighting stuff they know isn't going to make money. So why are they doing it? They want to educate us to watch slop so it can make money. And that, my friends, is wrong. This industry is on its knees, it's on the verge of bankruptcy, and no matter if you keep on blaming us or who you keep on blaming, it's going to keep on happening, right? Unless you look in the mirror and say, this is on us and we have to change.